oil from hemp. The car itself was constructed from hemp. On his large estate, Ford was photographed among his hemp fields. The car, grown from the soil, had hemp plastic panels whose impact strength was 10 times longer than steel. Popular Mechanics, 1941. And if those cars had been allowed to be built, how many lives would have been saved on the highways since 1941? Crashed, crunched up cars. Okay? Set the captives free. You know, ain't nobody playing. This ain't no game. We talking about our environment. We talking about the economy. We talking about lies and truth and people being able to use things to hurt other people. Okay? Hemp called billion-dollar crop. It was the first time a cash crop had a business potential to exceed $1 billion. Popular Mechanics, February 1938. Mechanical Engineering magazine, February 1938, published an article entitled "The Most Profitable and Desirable Crop That Can Be Grown." It stated that if hemp was cultivated using 20th century technology, it would be the single largest agricultural crop in the U.S. and the rest of the world. The following information comes directly from the United States Department of Agriculture's 1942 14-minute film encouraging and instructing patriotic American farmers to grow 350,000 acres of hemp each year for the war effort. Now, with Philippine and East Indian sources of hemp in the hands of the Japanese, American hemp must meet the needs of our Army and Navy as well as our industries. The Navy rapidly dwindling reserves. When that is gone, American hemp will go on duty again. Hemp for mooring ships, hemp for tow lines, hemp for tackle and gear, hemp for countless naval uses both on ships and shore, just as in the days when old Ironsides sailed the seas victorious with her hempen shrouds and hempen sails, hemp for victory. Certified proof from the Library of Congress found by the research of Jack Harrer, refuting claims of other government agencies that the 1942 USDA film Hemp for Victory did not exist. Hemp cultivation and production do not harm the environment. The USDA Bulletin number 404 concluded that hemp produces 4 times as much pulp with at least 4 to 7 times less pollution. From Popular Mechanics, February 1938. It has a short growing season. It can be grown in any state. The long roots penetrate and break the soil to leave it in perfect condition for next year's crop. The dense shock of leaves 8 to 12 feet above the ground chokes out weeds. Hemp, this new crop, can add immeasurably to American agriculture and industry. In the 1930s, innovations in farm machinery would have caused an industrial revolution when applied to hemp. This single resource could have created millions of new jobs, generating thousands of quality products. Hemp, if not made illegal, would have brought America out of the Great Depression. William Randolph Hearst, quote-unquote Citizen Kane, and the Hearst Paper Manufacturing Division of Kimberly-Clark owned vast acreages of timberland. The Hearst Company supplied most paper products. Patty Hearst's grandfather, a destroyer of nature for his own personal profit, stood to lose billions because of hemp. In 1937, DuPont patented the processes to make plastic from oil and coal. DuPont's annual report urged stockholders to invest in its new petroleum division. Synthetics such as plastic, cellophane, celluloid, methanol, nylon, rayon, dacron, etc. could now be made from oil. Natural hemp industrialization would have ruined over 80% of DuPont's business. The conspiracy? Andrew Mellon became Hoover's Secretary of Treasury and DuPont's primary investor. He appointed his future nephew-in-law, Harry J. Anslinger, to head the Federal Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs. Secret meetings were held by these financial tycoons. Hemp was declared dangerous and a threat to their billion-dollar enterprise. For their dynasties to remain intact, hemp had to go. These men took an obscure Mexican slang word. Shall I repeat that? An obscure Mexican slang word, marijuana, and pushed it into the consciousness of America. A media blitz of yellow journalism raged in the late 1920s and 1930s. Hearst newspapers ran stories emphasizing the horror of marijuana. The menace of marijuana made headlines. Readers learned that it was responsible from everything from car accidents to loose morality. Films like Reefer Madness, quote-unquote 1936, Marijuana Assassins of Youth, 1935, and Marijuana the Devil's Weed, 1936, were propagandas designed by these industrialists to create an enemy of a plant that will save our lives. Their purpose was to gain, that was me adding that in there. Doug Yurchey didn't say that, okay? I'm back to him again. Their purpose was to gain public support so that the anti-marijuana laws could be passed. Examine the following quotes from The Burning Question, aka Reefer Madness. Yeah, okay. Here we go. All right. Examine the following quotes from The Burning Question, aka Reefer Madness. A violent narcotic, acts of shocking violence, incurable insanity, soul-destroying effects. Under the influence of the drug, he killed his entire family with an axe. More vicious, more deadly, even than those soul-destroying drugs, heroin and cocaine, is the menace of marijuana. Now, that's more than utterly ridiculous. The only thing that is threatened by cannabis sativa and pot, ganja, herb, is munchies. Okay, but I'm serious about this. Reefer Madness did not end with the usual, the end. The film concluded with these words plastered on the screen: tell your children. In the 1930s, people were very naive, even to the point of ignorance. The masses were like sheep waiting to be led by the few in power. They did not challenge authority. If the news was in print or on radio, they believed it had to be true. They told their children, and their children grew up to be the parents of the baby boomers. On April 14, 1937, the prohibitive marijuana tax law, or the bill that outlawed hemp, was directly brought to the House Ways and Means Committee. This committee is the only one that can introduce a bill to the House floor without it being debated by other committees. The chairman of the Ways and Means, Robert Dalton, was a DuPont supporter. He ensured that the bill would pass Congress. Dr. James Woodard, a physician and attorney, testified too late on behalf